What's up, guys? Welcome back to Build Cool again. Today, we're back to work with our 1986 Honda Helix CN250. And in this episode, it's time to just keep stripping this thing down. As much as I want to start building it, we really need to just tear more of this stuff off of this thing first. So we're going to start in the front. I need to get the whole little front assembly off of here. I think I'll leave the radiator dangling, but I need to get the headlight and the gauges all off of it, so that way I can get access to the wiring so I can do more testing and figure out what's going on here. And then on top of all that, we need to move to the back so we can get the rear subframe. The trunk needs to come out. The rear fender, all of that just in the back. I need to get the airbox off of it just so I can measure and see what's going on with my game plan to this thing. As much as I want to start in the front and work my way back, I need to be able to order parts ahead of time and figure out what's going on back there. So we'll get all that, we'll dig into that, and then we'll see where we wind up. I feel like the front's going to be a little tricky. The back should be pretty easy, but I always say it's going to be easy, and then 2 hours later, we're still working on it. But before we get started, let's go ahead and smash that like and subscribe button so we can keep on building cool shit. We're getting through this, and you're going to want to make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on the big reveal and the big test ride this thing's gonna do. So with all that being said, let's get started. So we got the headlight, the gauge, the horn, all that assembly off of the bike. Well, laying on the side of the bike, I should say. And the radiator is now just floating there. It's kind of just flopping here, but it's okay, we're not riding it. So once I address the wiring, I'll be able to go ahead and get that whole situation off of the bike. But now I have a little more access to be able to test stuff and see what exactly is going on in there. So now we're going to go ahead and try to move to the back of the bike. Maybe I should have started in the back, because then I could have flipped the bike around. Now I don't really want to move the bike now that the radiator and stuff is just hanging off of here. So we're going to get a little creative on filming this, and we're going to work on getting the rear subframe, the whole trunk, the tail light, all of that. I'm pretty sure it's just one plug, unplug that, and it all should come out. I'm hoping I don't really have to take it apart, and it'll take the rear fender and all the trunk liner and all of that out as one piece. But we'll have to see. And then once we get that off, we'll work on the airbox and some other stuff. So with all that being said, let's keep going. Alright guys, so not only did we get the front end of this thing all pulled apart, but we got the airbox and the rear subframe all removed off of this thing. So now I need to go through and identify more of the wiring harness and what's going on there, so then I can get the headlight assembly pulled off of here, and then we can go back to making more progress on this thing. So it may be a couple weeks before I put out another episode, because I've got to find time to sit here and figure out what's going on. And without really having a diagram or anything, I'm literally guessing the whole way through and just hoping that I'm making the right assumption on everything. So it's slow going, and I just don't want to bore you guys with just testing wire after wire and moving around, just not making much progress. I'd rather show you guys cutting this thing up and really doing stuff to this thing. So in the next episode, we'll probably maybe get the hand controls or get the headlight. I do have some parts for it, but I don't know. I'm just making this thing up as I go right now. So stick with me as we keep going. We'll figure it out, and once I get through the wiring part of it, it'll be a lot easier to just make good progress on this thing. So before we get out of here, let's go ahead and smash that like and subscribe button so we can keep on building. This thing will be really cool when I'm done, I promise. Right now it just seems like a mess, but once we start cleaning it up, it will be cool, and we are going to start doing a lot more rides. I don't want to keep building up to the arsenal of bikes and toys. I'm kind of starting to reach that limit, so I really want to start riding all these things. And so we'll start going back and forth. Maybe break some stuff, rebuild it, break it again, rebuild it, who knows. So with all that being said, I'll catch you guys on the next episode. Peace!